written consent of Learfield IMG College.
Live from the Daskalakis Athletic Center in Philadelphia as we get set for the first round of the preseason women's NIT between the Davidson Wildcats and the Drexel Dragons. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Flow Hoops. And Nikki, you've got two good mid-major programs, Davidson out of the A10 and Drexel out of the CAA, who have started their seasons off with victories.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a really great game today. These teams match up very well, but let's see who comes out on top.
Well, Davidson knocked off Georgetown in their opener, and they are led by Sarah Donovan, 6-foot junior. She had a double-double of 12 points and 16 rebounds against the Hoyas.
Yeah, and based on those stats, she's an all-around scorer. Her sweet spot is a short corner, and she has a great reverse pivot. But she can also score from the outside, so Drexel needs to keep an eye on her the entire game. Well,
she'll likely be matched up with Drexel's Bailey Greenberg, the reigning CAA Player of the Year, put up 31 in the win over Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Bailey's the leader of this team. She's also the #1 scorer with a great hook shot.
And when we come back, we will have starting lineups. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on. To keep your sandwich freaky fresh, Jimmy John's only delivers within 5 minutes of the store. And not farther. It's nothing personal. It's because sandwich.
Human beings are born to care for one another. It's just natural. Sharing the same space would be a lot less pleasant any other way. At Independence Blue Cross, we've been doing our part too, every day for the past 80 years, in all types of ways, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and offering Indigo bikes throughout the region. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
for fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Back at the deck. Thank you for joining us here on Flow Hoops as we get ready for first round action of the 2019 preseason women's NIT. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us as we take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Davidson College Wildcats, we talked about Sarah Donovan, 6-foot junior, 12 points and 16 rebounds in the opener against Georgetown. Cassie Gould, 5'10 sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists in the opener. Katie Turner, 5'7 junior guard from Reno, Nevada, 9 points and 6 rebounds along with 5 assists against Georgetown. Chloe Welch, 5'9 sophomore from Colorado Springs, 3 points and 2 rebounds against Georgetown. And then Allie Welling, 6 points and 3 rebounds against Georgetown. She's a 6'3 senior from the Woodlands, Texas. For your Drexel Dragons, same starting lineup as the opener against Quinnipiac. Hannah Nyhill is your point guard. She had 7 points against the Bobcats on Tuesday night. Keshana Washington, 5'7 sophomore from Ontario, Canada, did not score against Quinnipiac. Aubrey Brown, 5'11 senior from Philadelphia, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the opener. Nikki Metzel, starting at center, 6'2 senior from Princeton, New Jersey, had 2 points and a rebound against the Bobcats. And Bailey Greenberg, 5'11 senior from North Wales, PA, had 31 points and 12 rebounds in that game against Quinnipiac. And you know, Nikki, we had a chance to talk to head coach Denise Dillon, now in her 17th season with a record of 307 and 204. She agrees they will need a little more than just the sharp shooting of Hendrickson off the bench, as well as Bailey Greenberg's 31.
Yeah, and I had a conversation with Bailey yesterday. She knows that she has a target on her back. She's done great for the Drexel team, but she really needs her team to help her out to get as many wins as they can for the season.
By the way, you just saw the head coach for Davidson, Gail Folks, entering her 3rd season as head coach, a fairly young coach, graduated from Fairleigh Dickinson in 2007. And we are underway here in this first round matchup in the preseason WNIT. Davidson on the road black, Drexel in the home white, and a high-low inside, and Donovan gets the scoring started for Davidson.
And that's exactly what she wants to do. You can't let her make any cuts to the basket, any rolls, because she'll make the buckets count.
Hannah Nihill. And that hand check, a point of emphasis this year. They will call that one every time. I saw it a lot in that Quinnipiac game up in Connecticut as well.
Yeah, and I was at a scrimmage for Drexel early on in the season. They had the refs come through and explain these rules, and they're changing a little bit. They're being a little bit more specific about the fouls.
Also a change. Shot clock resets to 20 seconds off of a foul. Keishana Washington steps in and makes the jumper, and that is huge. She was 0 for 6 against Quinnipiac. Good to see her get her first points of her sophomore campaign.
Yeah, she needs to keep it up. Great start so far.
Davidson with the basketball, tied at 2, and Drexel coming away with the steal off of the deflection. Nihill to Brown. Here's Metzel. She'll take the long 2. Can't quite get the bounce, and Nihill goes in, saves it, but unfortunately it goes to Gould of Davidson. 3-on-2 for Davidson, and the kick out goes to the Drexel bench, and a turnover for the Wildcats. But Washington takes and makes her first jumper. Nikki Metzel, who struggled in that game against Quinnipiac, she shows some confidence and steps into a long 2.
Yeah, and then Hannah Nihill coming, through with a hustle play. She didn't come up with it, but those hustle plays make a big difference.
Aubrey Brown throwing it away, looking for Bailey Greenberg. And it will go right back to Davidson. So a couple of trades of turnovers here to start things off in the opening quarter. Here's a lob inside. Greenberg against Donovan. This should be a great matchup all day. Donovan double teamed, then it's deflected out of bounds by Washington. Great team defense by the Dragons.
Yeah, that's one thing that Drexel emphasizes is not letting someone drive baseline on you, but Keishana Washington did a great job of being there helping her teammate.
This is Gould, guarded by Brown. And the high post pass is knocked away and stolen by Brown. Brown, she will go in herself, and an easy 2. Aubrey Brown coast to coast for the steal and the layup. Dragons doing a great job forcing turnovers so far. They've forced 3 Davidson turnovers. Dragons leading 4-2. Just about 2 minutes gone by. Stepping into a 3 is Gould, and that is nothing but net. Cassidy Gould was 2 for 4 from downtown against Georgetown in their opening win.
Yeah, she has the green light to shoot whenever she has the ball, whenever she's open, and she'll certainly knock them down.
Davidson 2 for their first 2. Dragons 2 for their first 3. Washington. Greenberg thought about it, now will take it, and around the rim and out, no good. I think the hesitation might have thrown her off just a little bit.
Yeah, if you're open, shoot it.
Katie Turner into the front court to hand off to Chloe Welch. Allie Welling, the 6'3 center. Turner around the screen, double teamed. Welch goes in right down the lane, missed the bunny. Nihill gets the deflection. Nihill, handoff, in rhythm, Greenberg for a 3, around the rim and out. Big country, Nikki Metzel with a rebound. Greenberg will take it again. This time she gets it to go.
Like I said last time down, if you're open, shoot it. Maybe she heard me. It worked for her this time.
This is a different Nikki Metzel than I saw up in Quinnipiac on Tuesday night, that's for sure. More like the Metzel that was selected to the preseason honorable mention All-CAA squad. Donovan nowhere to go. Good defense by Brown as the Dragons in a 2-3 zone right now. 2-point lead here in the early going, and Washington with the steal. Another turnover forced by the Dragons defense. And now the Dragons will settle it into the half court, and a traveling violation is the call. First substitutions on both sides. For Davidson, number 0, Susie Rose Deegan, who had 16 points and 8 rebounds in her debut as a freshman against Georgetown. And there's A.J. Davis, freshman for the Dragons, 6'1" from Baltimore, Maryland. Also checking into the game, Adelaide Fuller, number 24, for Davidson, another freshman. Here's Susie Rose Deegan down the lane. Good defense by Washington, and Davis with a rebound.
I'm liking the freshmen on this Drexel team. I think, they want to be in the game. They want to win. They have the idea of what Denise wants to do for their team.
Washington to Nihill. Brown, the handoff to Washington, 10 to shoot. Washington to Brown, corner three, bang! Aubrey Brown with a triple, and the Dragons starting out on fire.
And great job to Keyshawn Washington. She didn't get the basket herself, but she did a great job creating the open shot for Aubrey.
There's a block. How about the defense by the Dragons here in this first quarter? Nihill to Davis, wasn't expecting it, took the jumper around the rim and out, no good. A.J. Davis still looking for her points, her first points, I should say, as a Drexel Dragon. Davidson with the basketball. Susie Rose Deegan going in the step through, and that's a travel. Turnover number 5 for Davidson here in the first quarter.
All week in practice, Drexel's been working on stopping Davidson's transition defense, and so far they've done a good job. They've done a good job of getting in the passing lanes, creating turnovers, and making points off those turnovers.
Dragons on a little 6-0 run, thanks in large part to Greenberg and Brown's threes. Here's Washington. A little bit too much momentum, took her a little bit under the basket, and she misses the layup. Meanwhile, Mara Hendrickson has just checked into the game for the Dragons, and the threes continuing to fly for both teams. Katie Turner knocking down the triple. She was 2 of 3 in the game against Georgetown.
And half her shots last season were threes, so Drexel needs to know personnel and stop her from shooting them.
Nihill around the screen, goes in, the kick out. Nothing there, so Hendrickson will pass it up. Washington wants the high ball screen from Davis. She goes in, puts on the brakes, fadeaway blocked by the 6'3" Adelaide Fuller. And then A.J. Davis commits the foul on the attempted offensive rebound. So a good one so far between two very good shooting teams. The Dragons in front 10-8, and Davidson will have the ball when we return, but great defense by the Dragons leading the offense to start things off here in the first quarter. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College on Flow Hoops.
The word Philadelphia means brotherly love, and it seeps from every inch of our city. It's a way of life, a type of thinking that draws us closer to this city and each other. It's who we are. It's how we breathe. It's why we care so much about what we create, about the devotion we flaunt, the flavors of our culture, and the history that makes us. Brotherly love is what we feel in each other when the music makes us sway and move, and the city's buzz draws us together. It's what drives our compassion for a person we have never met. Because even though we can feel isolated by our many differences, the spirit of this city flows throughout its diverse communities and connects us all. This city is more than a revolutionary town. It's a hub of artists and innovators, of scholars and visionaries. And anyone who chooses Philadelphia joins a community of strong, proud individuals, united.
Independence Blue Cross has been doing their part to care for one another for the last 80 years. Learn more at ibx.com. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Flow Hoops. And Nikki, quite a bit of offense to start things off, although the Dragons have played good defense, but the Wildcats shooting the three ball pretty well, which has kept them in the game thus far.
Yeah, and, you know, in the beginning of the game, we talked about how Drexel needs Keyshawn Washington and Aubrey Brown to score, and they've done a great job with that so far, and they've done a great job with forcing the Davidson turnovers.
So the Dragons will come out with Nihil, Hendrickson, Brown, Greenberg, and A.J. Davis. Davidson, number 20, Cameron Tabor into the game for the first time. Joins Fuller, Deegan, Donovan, and this is Chloe Welch. Both teams shooting over 40%. Drexel 4 of 10, Davidson 3 of 6. On the outside, wide open is Fuller, misses the three. Greenberg crashing, collided with Nihil, but Brown was able to pick up the loose change. Nihil running the point. She did a good job of that against Quinnipiac. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists against the Bobcats Tuesday night in the Drexel win. Brown around a Davis screen. The pick and roll, the lob underneath, and maybe a little miscommunication there between Brown and Davis leads to a Drexel turnover.
That would have been a great look. A.J. Davis just stopped a little bit short. If she took a couple more steps, that would have been a wide open layup.
Allie Welling back in. Also Keishana Washington back in, coming in for Nihil, so Washington will run the point. Davidson basketball, Dragons holding on to a 2-point lead. Drexel led by as many as 5. And that is a travel as Allie Welling tried to collect herself going down the lane. Washington, midcourt. And another Drexel turnover. So a little sloppy by both teams really over the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think both of them need to value the ball, value each possession, and focus on one at a time.
Deegan, the drive right into Brown, and nothing she could do. And we are tied at 10.
It also seems like Drexel's defense is kind of loosening up, or Davidson is getting better at cutting to the basket and getting some shots off.
Hendrickson across the timeline. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd to our left. Dragons have gone stagnant a little bit. Bailey Greenberg fouled by Welch, a little reach in. And that'll be team foul number 2 on Davidson. Substitutions on both sides, and first time we're seeing Brianne Borkey from Garnet Valley, PA, into the game for the first time in a regular season game here at the DAC. Also Cassidy Gould back in. And the first time we're going to see Mariah Leonard, 5'10 senior from Ashburn, Virginia, coming in for A.J. Davis. And that's one thing that Drexel has this year is depth in the front court. Washington gets through a trap, goes in off the glass. And this time, Keishana Washington with the finish.
I like how she's starting off today.
Dragons get back in transition. That's what Davidson wants to do. They want to run and gun. And a good job by Drexel. That transition D is going to be key today if the Dragons can beat this Wildcats team. Here's another three and another make for Katie Turner. My goodness. And Davidson back in front, 13-12. Washington across the timeline. Leonard. Borkey. Now outside Greenberg. She'll drive. Hesitation. Calmly sinks the 2.
She does it with ease. I love how poised she has become making that move. That shot fake and then driving in and making an easy shot.
Donovan hits the cutter. Welling met by a couple of Dragons, and then a Drexel Dragon called for a push. First foul on Borkey, and she will quickly exit. And Anna Ferrariu coming into the game. And we talked to Coach Dillon, Nikki, that Anna Ferrariu would play a key role because it's a pretty good matchup for her. So we'll see what she can do off the bench, the Romanian Rocket in her senior season. Davidson ball, Drexel up 1. It's been a great one so far here in the first quarter. Pick and roll, Turner to Donovan. She'll shoot over Leonard and make it. Davidson now shooting 60% from the floor. Drexel 50%.
Drexel's doing a good job on their defense against them, but there'll be something right at the end to help Davidson get their shot off.
Washington, a quick three, top of the key, and she's got the answer. How about Keishana Washington, 7 points here in the first quarter. Deegan down the lane. Couldn't get that to go. Fights for her own rebound, out of bounds. Last touched by Davidson, and I believe that is the accurate call. Good job by the officials to talk to each other. Deegan, I think, just lost it off her own hit. How about Keishana Washington? She is the story. 7 points, 3 of 5 shooting. She was 0 for 6 and didn't score against Quinnipiac in the opener.
It's a completely different player this game. I think she's doing a great job of creating shots for her teammates, but also for herself.
Washington, top of the key. A little stagnant here. Greenberg will have to start dribbling to avoid the 5-second count. Ferrariu into the lane, and she turns it over. Tried a little bit of a no look, but Katie Turner was ready. Fuller pulls over Leonard, offensive foul, and that is what Mariah Leonard does best.
She does a great job at it, too. She simply just slides her feet and waits for the contact to be made.
One more look here, but a great job by Mariah Leonard. Here you go. Now we'll see the beginning of the play.
Yeah, she's on the opposite side of the key to get there, to get in that spot just in time.
End of the quarter. Let's see if Drexel can get a good look. Washington, the floater, got it to go. And who else but Keishana Washington finishes the quarter for the Drexel Dragons. 9 of the 19 for Drexel scored by Keishana. And again, Key doing work defensively and putting points on the board offensively as well. We'll take a timeout. Drexel up 4 after 1 quarter of play. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
Living at an American campus community has really made me confident in myself.
I can be an all-around better student.
It's a place where I can be successful.
I can focus on school instead of just where I live.
There's so much in one package.
They really value their residents here.
I know that I can succeed here.
And I don't think I could say that if I were living elsewhere.
It really gave me a lot more than just a place to live.
And that's what American Campus has done for me.
There are many people who will help take care of you throughout your life. Parents, partners, even perfect strangers. At Independence Blue Cross, we are here to care for you too, in ways big and small, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and by offering free healthy cooking classes at Independence Live. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving. Preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow. Because the future can't wait.
Unleash a refreshing citrus kick with Mountain Dew. Charge your game with Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, proud partner of Drexel Athletics. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Flow Hoops. And Nikki, it's been raining threes here at the DAC, both from Davidson and Drexel.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are doing a great job of hitting these threes. Both teams are 3 for 4. Davidson hitting a couple there. Keishana Washington coming out super strong. Aubrey Brown, we needed her to hit a couple, and then also Bailey Greenberg. So, you know, it's a good start for both teams from the three-point line.
Keyshawn Washington, 9 points. Greenberg with 5. Aubrey Brown with 5. That's Drexel's offense. Katie Turner with 2 threes. She's got 6 to lead the way for Davidson. Greenberg forcing her way in. Lost it, got it back. And from her backside, passed it to Leonard. Nihill, the floater with the left hand. And Hannah Nihill in the scoring column.
There's another Drexel player that we needed to step up, and she's showing us that she's here on the court to play today.
Dragons trying to trap, but a good job by Davidson to avoid it. Out of bounds off of the Wildcats, and that is turnover number 8 for Davidson. Nikki, this Dragons D has been really hustling because this is a tough Davidson team. They love to run in transition. They have a lot of different weapons, and Drexel has played well so far.
Yeah, and I think the motion offense that Davidson runs is very similar to the nonstop moving that Drexel does on offense as well.
Niall, a little shake and bake, and then the kick out. Washington, she'll pull up. Greenberg, she'll have to hoist it with the shot clock winding down. And fighting for the rebound was Leonard, but the deflection goes to Cameron Tabor. Tabor into the front court, and it will be a foul on Washington. It will be a blocking foul on the Dragons sophomore guard. Denise Dillon didn't like it, but if Washington got her feet set, she might have been able to take the charge, but she was not set, and that's why the block was called.
Yeah, and I don't think Keyshawn is necessarily the player to want to take a charge, so I can see her falling.
Fade away, no good by Fuller, and then Nihill knocked it away from Cassidy Gould. Hendrickson across the timeline for Drexel. Now Greenberg back to Hendrickson. Washington, who has been the star of this first half thus far, passes off to Nihill. 10 to shoot. Nihill, the kick out. Greenberg, another 3 around the rim and out, and Turner with the rebound.
Bailey's getting some good shots up, and I think Davidson is doing a good job of trying to keep her out of the play.
Mismatch here, Donovan against Hendrickson, and then Hendrickson called for the hand check. Not a whole lot Mara could do right there, matched up against the 6-foot forward, Sarah Donovan.
That's another new rule in the post, that you're only allowed to have 1 point of contact when you're playing defense on the post, so you can't have a forearm and a knee at the same time, or else it's a foul, which I'm not a fan of.
And there's a travel on the hesitation by Gould. Turnover number 9 for Davidson. So it's Nihill, Hendrickson, Washington, Greenberg, and Metzel on the floor for the Dragons. So it's the starting 5 minus Aubrey Brown, and Hendrickson will throw it away. Miscommunication. That's a rare miscommunication between what we call the s'mores, the sophomore class of Washington, Hendrickson, and Kate Connolly, the third musketeer of that group. She's out today with an injury.
I am a part of their game day group messages they send out to everybody.
Yeah,
now,
me too. I get it every game day. It's great, though. But a rare miscommunication between those two. So Hendrickson out, Aubrey Brown back in, so it's the starting 5 for Drexel. Katie Turner, she is on fire. 3 of 3 from beyond the arc for the junior from Reno, Nevada.
And again, Katie Turner, half of her shots last year were threes. And Drexel needs to know that. Do not give her any space on the outside.
Washington, she'll pull up for 2 and calmly sinks it. Washington in double figures with 11. She's shooting 5 of 7 from the floor.
She's playing like this is too easy right now. The defense is rarely guarding her, and she's getting nice open shots.
Here's a left-handed 3 from Fuller, and then she goes over the back trying to get her own rebound. And with the way Katie Turner is shooting the ball, I'm not sure if the coaching staff and head coach Gail Folks wants Fuller shooting those threes as a 6'3 center.
I agree with you, and that's something that, you know, the 5 on the court has to realize who has a hot hand, and whoever it is, get them the ball.
Dragons up 5 with the basketball. Washington. Nihill will find Metzel, left elbow, and we have a whistle against the Wildcats. Another hand check foul. This will be on Allie Welling. 3rd team foul for Davidson here in the second quarter. Dragons with 2. And the shot clock resets to 20. I'm still getting used to that new rule. Brown the lob, Greenberg, she'll take it in rhythm, nothing but net. Bailey Greenberg now with 7 points. Wildcat ball, Donovan backing down Greenberg, and a strong move with the left hand from Sarah Donovan.
Good job by Donovan. I mean, she gets the ball on the block, and she's going to score. Very similar to Bailey, but Drexel has to do a better job of not allowing her to get an easy entry pass.
We're used to the Dragons playing a slow-paced game, but that is not the case today. And in fact, I think the pace favors Davidson a little bit. But if the Dragons are going to keep making shots, which they're shooting at a 58% clip right now, then hey, why not? Keep going.
Yeah, and the pace isn't horrible. It's not like Drexel's playing out of control, which is, you know, something that they're not used to doing, playing so fast.
Foul was called on Davidson, and that frees up Greenberg for a corner three. And she's in double figures with 10. Davidson with the basketball. Turner, now to Welling. Welling backing her way in. That's got to be a travel. Taking a long stroll down Market Street. By the way, I don't think the score is right here on the Jumbotron. It should be 28-20 Drexel. It looks like they're going to fix it. There we go. That's correct. I think they gave the last 2 points to Davidson. Come on, we're at the deck, people. Get it together. Nihill running the point for Drexel. Starting 5 in the game for the Dragons. Davidson right now in a 2-3 zone. Greenberg, she'll try it again. Same spot, different result. Big country, can't get it to go. But Nikki Metzel will earn 2 at the line off of her second offensive rebound. And 2 players, Nikki, that we saw struggle against Quinnipiac, as you see Metzel, well, she wanted that one back. But Washington and Metzel really struggled against the Bobcats. They are really playing well to start things off here today against Davidson.
Yeah, I think Nikki Metzel's been a little quiet, but she's been doing things that haven't been necessarily on the stat sheet. She's playing great defense, and she's going after rebounds, which forces Davidson to box her out.
And she sinks both free throw attempts. So the Dragons now up double digits, 30-20, with 5.5 to go till halftime here in Philadelphia. Cameron Tabor now with the double team, looking for someone to pass to. Metzel and Nihill all over her, and Metzel just wrestles it away. Nihill on the run. She's going to pull up for 2 and can't get the bounce. Rebound by Deegan. I thought maybe there was a double dribble there. No call. Tabor into the front court, tried to pass it back to Gould, and Brown hustling to knock it away.
I'm loving the defense by Drexel. They're doing a great job of getting back in front of Davidson during the transition offense for them.
The Davidson Wildcats picked to finish 5th in the Atlantic 10 behind VCU, Dayton, Fordham, and St. Louis. So this is a pretty good Wildcat team who actually played in the WBI last year in the postseason, lost in the first round to Marshall. Another Davidson turnover. Meanwhile, we're seeing Sarah Constance, number 10 for Davidson, for the first time for the Wildcats. Washington, Nihill. Kick out, Greenberg for 3. Drills it. 13 for Bailey Greenberg, and a timeout by Davidson with the Dragons up 13 here in the first round of the WNIT.
And I love the patience of Drexel. They tried it the first time, it wasn't there. They tried it again and got a wide open 3 by Bailey.
We'll take a timeout, 4:36 to go till halftime. Dragons leading 33-20, thanks in large part to Bailey Greenberg, who is starting to catch fire here in the second quarter. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
Everyone is on their feet.
Steamfitters Local 420 proudly supports Drexel Athletics. Steamfitters represents the most skilled pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians. Visit lu420.org or unitedbyexcellence.org to learn more. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here on Flow Hoops. And Nikki, the second quarter has belonged to the Dragons, outscoring Davidson 14-5, and it's really been a story of offensively Bailey Greenberg and Keshana Washington, and then the team defense of Drexel to hold Davidson to only 5 points here in the quarter.
Yeah, and I think if you kind of flip around what you just said, their defense right now is dictating their offense, which is exactly what Denise wants them to do. So if they can keep that up for the rest of this half and then next half, then I think they have a good chance of winning.
There you see the Drexel Dragons getting ready to come out on the floor. There's the coaching staff, Denise Dillon, Amy Mallon, Stacy Weiss, and we'll hear from Michelle Baker as well at the half. And, of course, we've got to mention the Dobo, Mike Halbiger, and, of course, the grad assistant, Kelsey Lidge. Great to have her on the bench in street clothes rather than a basketball uniform. But I'm sure she gives a lot of valuable input to these players.
No, she does a great job of that.
Davidson ball out of the timeout. Let's see if they have any answers for this Drexel defense. Well, Cassidy Gould didn't. She had to pass it off to Katie Turner. Deegan into the lane. Baseline jumper for Welling, and she drills it. Allie Welling, 6'3", with that long wingspan, able to shoot that set shot over the top of her defenders. At Davidson, they put a little bit of defensive pressure on in the full court press and force a Hannah Nyhill turnover.
Davidson, great job by catching Drexel by surprise with that press, but Drexel needs to realize that your teammates need help. Hannah can't do everything by herself, sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, now that Drexel has seen it, usually when you see the Dragons see a full court press, if they turn it over, they learn from it, and they'll get the other players down on the court. So Davidson will inbound side out. So far a good timeout by head coach Gail Fulks, getting her team together. Cassidy Gould forcing her way inside. The kick out, and Washington stepped right in there, and Leonard grabs the deflection. Washington around a Metzel screen. Metzel, one more for Brown. Washington directing traffic. Good crossover over Welling, off the glass.
I'm liking this Keshana Washington. She's doing a great job today, confident and never looking back.
Donovan, well, she's pretty confident too. Calmly drains the jumper. Donovan now with 8 for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Keshana Washington tied for the team lead with Bailey Greenberg with 13. And if the Dragons can get this Keshana Washington on somewhat of a nightly basis, that will be a huge, huge help for Bailey Greenberg and this Drexel offense. 10 to shoot for the Dragons. Washington gets Donovan on a switch. Here's Nyhill around a screen. Washington, she has to throw it up. Off the mark, Metzel deflected it to Aubrey Brown. Great job by Big Country fighting for the second chance. Nyhill puts on the brakes. Metzel, baseline, guarded by Welling. Brown. Leonard slips and misses it, and Metzel nearly had the offensive rebound, but it was knocked away, and it will stay with the Dragons. So Nikki Metzel creating second and third chance opportunities for the Dragons, and I think Mariah Leonard would want that one back.
Yeah, and two things I love about that possession is everyone touched the ball, and everyone was unselfish in passing to their open teammate.
And a foul on the inbound on the Wildcats, and that will be number 5 on the team here in the second quarter, and that will be a 2-shot foul for the Dragons. Foul was on Donovan, her first. Not sure who she fouled. It was Bailey Greenberg. Well, all Bailey Greenberg did was set program records in free throws made and free throws attempted in the opener against Quinnipiac. 19 of 21 from the charity stripe, and again, she had 31 in that game. And Greenberg keeps up great free throw shooting. We have the foul here, and just a little hold on the inbound play.
And that happens a lot for the Drexel teams because they're always cutting and moving, and sometimes the only thing the defense can do is hold.
1 of 2 for Greenberg. Dragons up 12. Katie Turner into the front court. Kick out to Chloe Welch. Welling, one more for Deegan. Deegan has Metzel on a switch, the step through, and a traveling violation. And we've seen that move by the Wildcats a couple of times. And in fact, they have some international players, a lot of players from Australia, trying that Euro step, if you will, not quite working out for them.
Yeah, I think it's just the speed of which they're going. You have to go a little bit faster to make it happen and get away with it.
Dragons break the press. Brown with the spin move. Kick out to Mara Firm Hendrickson, who has just checked back into the game. Greenberg in the post. Turnaround over Deegan. Can't get it to fall. Metzel deflected it, but Turner grabs it in the corner. Wildcats on the run. Turner, the kick out. It will be a Deegan 3. Off the mark. Rebound by Metzel on the long board near the elbow.
One thing that Drexel emphasized on practice this week is defense, and I think they're doing a great job of it.
Hendrickson and Drexel will reset. Washington. Kick out. Greenberg, another 3. Nothing but net. Greenberg, her 4th tray. She's got 17.
Completely unaffected by the defense that was in her face.
15-point advantage for the Dragons over the high-powered offense of Davidson. Katie Turner, the step back. Oh, man. 4 of 4 from beyond the arc for Katie Turner.
She's feeling herself. You can tell by how she's playing defense and how she's dribbling the ball.
Aubrey Brown will just jog it across the timeline, breaking the Davidson press. Turner in double figures with 12. Donovan with 8. After that, not a whole lot of offense for the Wildcats. 10 to shoot, Washington. Greenberg in the post. Greenberg, shot clock winding down, up and under, left hand, no good. It didn't hit the rim, and it will be a shot clock violation. Probably a good thing for the Dragons because the Wildcats were about to start a fast break. Alana Davidson into the game for the first time. And Nikki, we talked about a lot of Australian players. Well, Alana Davidson coming close to home, a graduate of New Hope Solberry High School in Bucks County, right outside of Philadelphia.
I'm sure she has a bunch of family here watching her today.
So we've got about a 2-second difference here between the game clock and shot clock at the end of the second quarter. Donovan going in, and the DAC pack doing what they do best, creating a phantom shot clock. It didn't matter. Donovan got it to fall anyway. Washington from just inside half court is off the mark, and that will do it. So Davidson with a strong finish to the first half, but the Dragons up 10. Nikki, what did you think about the Drexel Dragons performance here in the first half?
I love how they just, put their 2 quarters together. They did a great job of staying together as a team, playing unselfishly. And I have Michelle Baker here, assistant coach, and I'm going to see what she thought of the first half so far. So Washington, she did a great job.
Yeah, she did,
this
Nick.
game, completely different than the last game. What do you think changed?
I think she just is playing a little bit better defense. In the Quinnipiac game, she missed 2 early, and then I think it affected her defense. So I think this game she settled down. Her defense is getting better, and it's escalating her offense.
All right, and then defense was the emphasis this week in practice, especially stopping the transition for Davidson. How do you think the team's doing? They forced 14 turnovers so far.
Even with that great number, Nikki, I still think it's a little bit so-so. Number one, how many threes does she have? 3 or 4? Just way too many. So they're doing a great job on the initial, but then the closeout, we're not getting a hand. So, it's almost like 14 is a good number, but we got to clamp down a little bit more.
All right, sounds good. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Coach Baker. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will recap the first half. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
What's the benefit of Blue when it comes to your Medicare coverage? With Independence Blue Cross, it's choice, value, and care that fits your needs and lifestyle. Ready for coverage that travels with you? Our new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan starts at $0 a month. Call 833-822-6439 to learn more about the new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan from Independence Blue Cross.
To keep your sandwich freaky fresh, Jimmy John's only delivers within 5 minutes of the store, and not farther. It's nothing personal. It's because sandwich.
Human beings are born to care for one another. It's just natural. Sharing the same space would be a lot less pleasant any other way. At Independence Blue Cross, we've been doing our part too, every day for the past 80 years, in all types of ways, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and offering Indigo bikes throughout the region. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza, artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
for fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
The word Philadelphia means brotherly love. And it seeps from every inch of our city. It's a way of life, a type of thinking that draws us closer to this city and each other. It's who we are. It's how we breathe. It's why we care so much about what we create. About the devotion we flaunt, the flavors of our culture, and the history that makes us. Brotherly love is what we feel in each other when the music makes us sway and move, and the city's buzz draws us together. It's what drives our compassion for a person we have never met. Because even though we can feel isolated by our many differences, the spirit of this city flows throughout its diverse communities and connects us all. This city is more than a revolutionary town. It's a hub of artists and innovators, of scholars and visionaries. And anyone who chooses Philadelphia joins a community of strong, proud individuals, united by our passion for life and each other. This is an invitation to be yourself and experience a family without bounds. Brought together in unexpected ways.
Living at an American campus community has really made me confident in myself.
I can be an all-around better student.
It's a place where I can be successful.
I can focus on school instead of just where I live.
There's so much in one package.
They really value their residents here.
I know that I can succeed here.
And I don't think I could say that if I were living elsewhere.
It really gave me a lot more than just a place to live.
And that's what American Campus has done for me.
There are many people who will help take care of you throughout your life. Parents, partners, even perfect strangers. At Independence Blue Cross, we're here to care for you too, in ways big and small, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and by offering free healthy cooking classes at Independence Live. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving. Preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow. Because the future can't wait.
Thing about at that point in my life was wrestling.
And if I stay on this leg and he pulls me down.
At Jimmy John's, we want your sandwich to arrive freaky fresh, so we only deliver within 5 minutes of our stores, and not farther.
He's new.
Order at jimmyjohns.com. Because sandwich.
Halftime here in Philadelphia of the first round of the 2019 preseason women's NIT, and the Drexel Dragons leading the Davidson Wildcat, 39-29. Alongside Nikki Jones, Amari Bluestein. And Nikki, we had an action-packed first half, a lot of offense for Drexel, but it was really started by the defense of the Dragons.
Yes, but, you know, the only person, like Michelle Baker said, that Drexel hasn't stopped is Katie Turner. She's 4 for 4 from the 3 right now. She's hot and unstoppable. And Keishana Washington really played well. 13 points in that first half as her and Turner right there trading threes. Bailey Greenberg with 17 in the first half. There's another Turner 3, but Bailey Greenberg and the Drexel defense also really doing a nice job in the first stanza. Yeah, they're doing a great job of getting their bodies and hands in the passing lane. Hannah Nihill's doing her job there. Same for Keishana Washington, showing some athleticism and getting back on the offensive end. And there's a block by Aubrey Brown, and she had a great deflection as well. And even though she doesn't always score the basketball, she does a great job of helping out her teammates. And here's Bailey Greenberg, who had 4 threes in the first half to lead to 17 points. This is the Independence Blue Cross halftime report. Independence Blue Cross is a proud sponsor of Drexel Athletics, with the region's largest networks of doctors, hospitals, and Independence live community programs. Independence provides the caring is in all of us. Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at ibx.com. Now it's time for our out-of-town scoreboard presented by the Fresh Grocer. And this is really only one game in the WNIT. A lot was played last night, and DePaul defeated Miami of Ohio 98-79 last night. So the winner of this game will be going to Chicago to play Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, against the number 18 team in the country, the DePaul Blue Demons. And I'll tell you what, Nikki, whoever wins tonight, whether it's Drexel or Davidson, DePaul will have their hands full in their own court on Monday night. I agree with that. These are two really great teams, Drexel and Davidson, and let's see who wants it more. Drexel Athletics would also like to thank the following partners for their support of the Dragons: Ed's Buffalo Wings and Pizza, Sheraton University City, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, and Campus Close. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have second half action for you. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
Drexel is the modern American research university. We do translational research, we do cooperative education, we do urban extension. The place is just bursting with opportunity, and as a result, it's a very, very special place full of great people who are doing amazing, amazing things.
The ethos of Drexel, to learn by doing, is really 100% compatible with what a comprehensive research university is and has to be. That experiential learning is essential and really differentiates our students from the pack.
Research is really just about discovering new things, trying to create knowledge, insight, innovation in all forms. We bring together students, faculty, and staff from across the university to pursue highly multidisciplinary projects. So that can be music and engineering, that can be robotics and dance performance, that can be material science and fashion design.
The things that have happened here and the speed at which they've happened is a tribute to a community that will never rest on its laurels.
Everything that I'm doing now is trying to make the world a better place. My mission is to change the world, but I'm going to do it one student at a time, one innovation at a time, one class at a time. Every interaction, I want to make a difference in this world, and it's wonderful to be able to do that here at Drexel University.
What's the benefit of blue when it comes to your Medicare coverage? With Independence Blue Cross, it's choice, value, and care that fits your needs and lifestyle. Ready for coverage that travels with you? Our new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan starts at $0 a month. Call 833-822-6439 to learn more about the new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan from Independence Blue Cross.
A Academy Bus, the East Coast leader in bus transportation services, is proud to be the official ground transportation provider for Drexel Athletics. Learn more about how Academy Bus can help move your group at academybus.com. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here for the first round of the 2019 preseason Women's NIT. We are live from Philadelphia, and you see what is up next here for Drexel Athletics as the men's team will take on Abilene Christian tomorrow right here at the DAC. And for you Dragons fans, get your tickets at drexeltickets.com. As we resume the second half, Davidson with the basketball. I know it will be a jump ball call, possession arrow in favor of the Dragons. Was that the call? I looked down for a second, Nikki, and I missed it.
Yep, you are correct.
Okay, and we're right back in it. The Drexel Dragons going with their starting five. They're in the home white. Washington, Nihill, Brown, Greenberg, and Metzel. Davidson in the road black. They are going with their starting five of Turner, Welch, Welling, Donovan, and Gould. Look at that little pick and roll. And a little 4-foot jumper off the glass for Nikki Metzel on the feed from Aubrey Brown.
That was a textbook pick and roll by Drexel.
Good start for the Dragons here in the third quarter. Donovan backing down Greenberg. Couldn't get it to go and deflects it outside. Turner again, and she has not missed. 5 for 5 for 15 points, all from beyond the arc for Katie Turner. Washington trapped. She's in trouble. Passes it back to Brown, and this is going to be a 10-second violation. Second time we've seen Drexel turn it over on the full court press of Davidson.
You know, and at halftime is a time that coaches make adjustments, and it seems like Davidson has showed a couple of theirs so far, and it's working for them.
9-point game. Drexel has led really from the end of the first quarter. We were back and forth in that first stanza. Donovan forces her way in off the glass, and Donovan now with 12. And I'll tell you what, Nikki, Turner and Donovan have both come as advertised preseason all A-10 selections for a reason. Aubrey Brown across the timeline. She'll go in. Missed the layup, contested by Donovan, and she clears the glass. Here come the Wildcats on the run. This is what they love to do, but the Dragons get back. High-low. Fuller gets it over top of Brown, puts it up, missed it, and a good job by Brown to contest against the 6'3 center. Brown into the front court. She'll slow things down. Dragons now into the half court. Greenberg battling down there with Donovan. That's been a great war down there, Nikki.
Yeah, I think those two are really great players.
Metzel, she'll go in. Left elbow jumper, a little bit too strong.
That was a good shot by Nikki Metzel. I mean, she's open within her range. It just didn't fall.
Good transition D again by the Dragons, slowing down Katie Turner. Wildcats in the half court. Chloe Welch. Fuller, one more for Gould. Gould in against Metzel, and a hand check call against Nikki Metzel and the Dragons. First foul call here of the third quarter.
That's a tough defensive position to guard, but what Nikki really needs to do is beat her to the spot and get there so that she's not riding her the whole time.
Good drive by Chloe Welch. Her first points for the 5'9 sophomore from Colorado Springs, and all of a sudden it's a 7-0 run by Davidson and a 5-point game.
Offensively, Davidson has come out really strong in the second half so far. They're looking at the basket and getting the ball to their hot hands.
Drexel led by as many as 15 in that quarter. Washington tries the three. Nihill deflects the rebound to Greenberg. Shot clock resets to 20. The Dragons have done a good job yet again on the offensive glass. They now have 4 of them. Coming off a great rebounding performance against Quinnipiac. Washington tried to hit Metzel on the back cut, and a little bit too far for Nikki Metzel, and it goes out of bounds off of her fingertips. And a turnover for Drexel. Turnover number 10, Mara Hendrickson back into the game. She'll come in for Brown. And Hendrickson has not scored as of yet, coming off that career-high 18-point performance against Quinnipiac.
Yeah, we need her to hit at least 1 3 so that it can open up the inside.
Welch, good dribble drive. Gould, the good fake over Metzel, missed it. Davidson looking for the foul call, but Metzel with good straight-up defense. Dragons could use a bucket right here. They haven't scored since the opening minute of this quarter. Nihill hits Greenberg on the cut off the glass, and she slipped past Donovan for two.
And great communication. It was all in their eye contact, knowing what Bailey wanted to do and getting her the ball. It was a great job by Hannah Nihill.
Much needed bucket for the Dragons. Breaks a 7-0 run for Davidson, and then a foul called on Greenberg as she reaches in from behind to knock it away from Donovan. There is Denise Dillon. And again, in her 17th year at the helm for the Drexel Dragons. Aubrey Brown back in for Keishana Washington. Also, Susie Rose Deegan back into the game for Davidson. She gets the inbound pass, fadeaway jumper a little bit short, and the rebound comes straight down to the 5'3" Hannah Nihill. Nihill avoids the trap. Hendrickson, one more for Brown. Thought about the three. Hendrickson has it. Metzel. Brown going in, the floater off the glass a little bit too strong, couldn't get the roll.
Aubrey Brown does a great job of getting to the basket, but she just needs to focus a little bit more once she's at the rim.
Turner, stripped by Nihill, but Turner got it back. Turner contested, this time her first miss, crashes the glass, her own miss, and puts it up and in. But Katie Turner, I think, needs to come out. I think she got hit in the nose or the mouth or something. But what hustle by Katie Turner. Her first miss, she gets her own rebound and put back.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you have to guard her straight up, guard her for the three, guard her for the rebound, box her out. Drexel really needs to take her out of the play completely.
There was A.J. Davis, the freshman, back into the game for Nikki Metzel. Nihill, wow, what a move to escape a potential trap. Brown to Greenberg for three. Bailey Greenberg with 22, her fifth three of the day.
And there's that extra pass that Drexel's been doing a great job of today, finding the more open player.
8-point advantage, a much needed triple for the Dragons. Gould the hesitation. Poked away by Hendrickson, and then a foul called on Davidson's Cassidy Gould. Good job by Maura Hendrickson, and she is more than just a three-point shooter. She does a lot of really good things in running this offense and defensively as well. We have our first media timeout of the second half, 4:57 to go here in the third quarter. Dragons up 8, 46-38. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
To keep your sandwich freaky fresh, Jimmy John's only delivers within 5 minutes of the store, and not farther. It's nothing personal. It's because sandwich.
Human beings are born to care for one another. It's just natural. Sharing the same space would be a lot less pleasant any other way. At Independence Blue Cross, we've been doing our part too, every day for the past 80 years, in all types of ways, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and offering Indigo bikes throughout the region. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
Okay, we're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza, artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Fresh dough made from scratch daily.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
It's all one price.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
for fast fire perfection.
That's Blaze Pizza. Sound good?
Then come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
The Care Cost Estimator is one more way Independence Blue Cross is helping their members make better, more informed healthcare choices. Learn more at ibx.com. Sports Information Directors coordinate public relations, websites, social media statistics, and much more as the strategic communicators for college and university athletic departments and conference offices throughout the country. The SIDs for today's teams are Patrick Shatkus of Drexel University and Joey Beeler of Davidson College. Thank you for all you do in support of your student athletes, coaches, and institutions. For more information, check out cosida.com/thankyoursid. Back to live action, and A.J. Davis with her first collegiate points on a great find from Aubrey Brown.
That's a great way to have it, a wide open layup, the easiest shot you can take.
48-38, Dragons back up double digits, and a foul called on A.J. Davis following her first collegiate bucket. Second personal on A.J. Davis, and you're seeing a lot of good things from A.J. Davis, but you're also seeing a lot of things that freshmen do, freshman foul mistakes, that kind of thing, but she definitely is a promising front court player for Drexel.
Yes, and Davis is still learning. After practices, you can see her talking to Denise, trying to figure out what can she do better.
And Aubrey Brown coming in with an emphatic block on Chloe Welsh. They call the foul on Hendrickson for the bump, but Aubrey Brown, wow. Let's see if we can get one more look at this one. Hendrickson with the push foul here, but Aubrey Brown, wow. That's an emphatic rejection, and you of all people, Nikki Jones, certainly would have an appreciation for that as a former Dragon shot swatter yourself.
If anyone blocks a shot on this team, I can say I taught them that. I will take the credit.
Welsh missed both, and Aubrey Brown gets the deflected rebound. Nihill. Here's Hendrickson. Greenberg top of the key. Down the lane against Donovan and couldn't get it to drop. A rebound by Adelaide Fuller. Here's Turner. Welch left open. Missed it. Fuller the rebound and a foul by Davis. And I don't think Denise Doan will be too happy with the freshman there. She did not box her player out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to miss shots and, things like that, but you can't miss a box out. That's something that you can control 100%.
Nikki Metzel back in. Keishana Washington also back into the lineup. So it's Washington, Nihill, Hendrickson, Greenberg, and Metzel in the lineup for Drexel. Here's Adelaide Fuller, 6'3" freshman. A great performance from her against Georgetown, 10 points and 3 rebounds. And one more look here as Welsh misses the three, and then Fuller, not boxed out, gets the easy offensive rebound, and then the foul called on Davis, her third. So she goes to the bench. 48-40, both shots made by Fuller. Dragons break the press. Nihill tried to thread the needle, but a little bit too far for Washington. Not a bad idea, but it ends up in a turnover. And in a game like this, it's going to be close throughout. You have to value the basketball.
Value each possession every time.
Gould. To Donovan, who's been quiet here in the third quarter. Welch. And Greenberg and Donovan both nearly fall over. A carry is the call on Adelaide Fuller. It's going to be Drexel ball.
That was a weird possession by Davidson, but it worked in Drexel's
favor. It was just a strange possession in total as Donovan, Greenberg, Greenberg nearly falls down. Donovan hits the deck. Oh, that was a carry. Wow. You don't see it called that often, but I think that certainly
it was obvious.
It should have been called. Metzel in trouble, finds Nihill. And the Dragons break the press. This Davidson press has been tough.
Yeah, they do a great job of getting there where the ball is and trying to trap. Getting Drexel out of sorts.
Nihill, the hesitation. Washington, corner, three. Got it! Second three for Keishana. She's got 16.
I don't think Washington moved from that corner that whole possession. She waited patiently and knocked down the three-pointer.
Big bucket. Dragons back up double digits. And losing the ball was Allie Welling, another turnover for the Wildcats, their 18th. And now the Dragons will settle it down in the half court with 2.5 to play here in the third quarter. Washington. Nihill, she'll take the jumper off the mark, and the floorboard comes down to Gould. Good box out by her. Gould, a little bit too far for Welch, so we saw Nihill do it to Washington, and this time Gould commits the turnover for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and besides that, it seems like a lot of things that these two teams are doing are very similar and very identical.
Hendrickson out. So it is the starting five back on the floor for the Dragons. And a good job by Drexel to break the press that time. Nihill through traffic. Metzel open, baseline, drills it. Second field goal for Metzel. She's got 6.
And the key to breaking any press is to pass versus trying to dribble through it, and it worked for them in that possession.
Good move by both Gould and Welch, and it ends up as a bucket for Chloe Welch. Her second field goal, she's got 4. Good job by Nihill to find Washington. And Washington will slow it down and wait for her teammates to join her. Dragons up 11. They've led by as many as 15 in this one. 90 seconds to play here in the third stanza. Brown to Greenberg. Picked up by Turner on a switch. Washington to Greenberg through traffic. And the foul called as Cassidy Gould hit the deck.
Yeah, the initial play called was for Bailey, but it didn't work out, but her teammate were still looking for her, which is something they do a really great job of.
Greenberg back to the line where she has been quite a bit here in this season thus far. Greenberg with 22 today, missing the first. One more look here. Greenberg really between 3 Davidson Wildcats and gets the shot up. She's got the second. 23 for Greenberg. Could she be on her way to another 30-point performance? My goodness.
I can certainly see it happening.
Constance back in for Davidson. Donovan, Constance on Brown. Goes in, blocked by Aubrey Brown, out of bounds. It will be Davidson basketball, although this might change here. Our side official coming in. It was close. It's one of those where you block it kind of back into Davidson's face, and the call was changed. Let's see the replay. Let's see if we can see who it was off of. And yes, Brown deflected it, and then Constance was the last to touch it. Good job by our officiating crew to get that one right. Brown across the timeline and avoids the trap, finds Greenberg. Nihill into the corner. She gets it back. Good hesitation, and then Constance basically falls over Nihill. Third team foul on Davidson with under a minute to go. Dragons are over the limit, so Davidson is in the bonus.
You know what I will say? I'm very impressed by the press that Davidson has put on in the second half. They do a great job of trying to disrupt and slow down Drexel's 30-second chance at a shot on the offensive end.
As we wind down the third quarter, Drexel with the ball, up by 12. Nihill around a Metzel screen. Greenberg looking down low, not there. Now Brown has it. It'll have to be Brown. Goes in, awkward shot, didn't get the rim. Rebound by Fuller. And game clock and shot clock virtually identical. And Davidson likely will hold for one. Turner. Now to Donovan. Turner goes in off the glass, but she got the foul call as Nikki Metzel went up for the rejection.
Foul on the Dragons, number 24, Nikki Metzel, her second.
Second personal on Metzel. Dragons over the limit. Katie Turner to the line.
Davidson, Katie Turner at the line, shooting 2.
Turner leading the way for Davidson with 17 points. She's got the first one. One more look here, Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki Metzel stepped over and tried to swat the shot, but just not in enough time. Denise is telling her, just step over and stand there. Wait for her to make contact with you.
2 for 2 for Turner. The Dragons do have 5 seconds to get a shot off. Nihil across midcourt from the top of the key, and actually it wasn't a bad look. And the Dragons hold another 10-point lead at the end of the stanza. But the Dragons doing a good job here against this Davidson offense. Great defense. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
The word Philadelphia means brotherly love, and it seeps from every inch of our city. It's a way of life, a type of thinking that draws us closer to this city and each other. It's who we are. It's how we breathe. It's why we care so much about what we create, about the devotion we flaunt, the flavors of our culture, and the history that makes us. Brotherly love is what we feel in each other when the music makes us sway and move, and the city's buzz draws us together. It's what drives our compassion for a person we have never met. Because even though we can feel isolated by our many differences, the spirit of this city flows throughout its diverse communities and connects us all. This city is more than a revolutionary town. It's a hub of artists and innovators, of scholars and visionaries. And anyone who chooses Philadelphia joins a community of strong, proud individuals, united by our passion for life and each other. This is an invitation to be yourself and experience a family without bounds. Brought together in unexpected ways.
Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of Drexel Athletics. Also, Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union is an official partner of the Drexel Dragons. Stop by their University City branch at 3200 Chestnut Street. Visit fmfcu.org/Drexel to learn about special offers for the Drexel community. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Fourth quarter action here in Philadelphia. First round of the preseason women's NIT. Drexel leads Davidson 54-44. Mariah Leonard into the game for the Dragons, and a good drive by Susie Rose Deegan, and she's coming off a 16-point performance. She's been held pretty quiet today. That, in fact, is only her second bucket. So Davidson still fighting here. This is certainly still a game, Nikki Jones.
I agree with you, and I think it's going to be a close one. We only have 9 minutes left.
Keishana Washington. Now to Greenberg. Gets Turner on a switch. The face-up. The floater. Got it. Bailey Greenberg, 25 to lead all scorers. Back to a 10-point advantage, and you would love to see the Dragons keep the Wildcats at that point. And we're going to have an offensive foul as Deegan elbowed Bailey Greenberg down in the post.
Good job by Bailey by holding her ground and letting the refs see what's going on versus just shying away from the contact.
And Coach Gail Folks wanting an explanation. And now the Dragons break the press of Davidson. Here's Washington. So it's the starting five minus Metzel plus Leonard on the floor for the Dragons. Nihil, pick and roll with Greenberg. She goes up to get it. Nothing but net. Bailey Greenberg, 27 points on 10 of 18 shooting, and Davidson calls a timeout.
And Bailey, she just makes it look so easy. She's so calm and collected. Whenever she gets the ball, she knows exactly where the basket is, and she does a great job of it.
Greenberg now with 27. The Dragons up 12. We'll take a timeout with 8:48 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bailey Greenberg doing work in the lane for the Dragons. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
Living at an American campus community has really made me confident in myself.
I can be an all-around better student.
It's a place where I can be successful.
I can focus on school instead of just where I live.
There's so much in one package.
They really value their residents here.
I know that I can succeed here.
And I don't think I could say that if I were living elsewhere.
It really gave me a lot more than just a place to live.
And that's what American Campus has done for me.
There are many people who will help take care of you throughout your life. Parents, partners, even perfect strangers. At Independence Blue Cross, we're here to care for you too, in ways big and small, like with access to the largest network of doctors and hospitals, and by offering free healthy cooking classes at Independence Live. Enroll today at ibx.com. Independence Blue Cross.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving. Preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow. Because the future can't wait.
Fresh Grocer is a proud supporter of Drexel Athletics. Be sure to visit your nearest Fresh Grocer supermarkets at 40th and Walnut Streets and 3021 Grays Ferry Avenue. Check out thefreshgrocer.com or download their app for weekly savings and coupons. Academy Bus, the East Coast leader in bus transportation services, is proud to be the official ground transportation provider for Drexel Athletics. Learn more about how Academy Bus can help move your group at academybus.com. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here live from Philadelphia. 8:48 to go here in regulation. Drexel up by 12, 58-46, and they're getting a large majority of their offense yet again from Bailey Greenberg. Donovan, she's had a quiet second half. Missed fires on that layup. And the Dragons have really done a good job against Donovan in the second half. She does have 12 points, but she has not scored for a little bit. Dragons with the basketball up by 12. Here's Nihil, under 10 to shoot. The kick out, Brown. Brown, the back down. Leonard will take the jumper and can't get the bounce. Rebound, Turner. Not really Leonard's game, but she can make a jumper once in a while. Davidson with the basketball. Here's a three by Gould, and it's off the mark. Rebound out of bounds, deflected by Welch. Brown. Here's Nihil. Dragons trying to hold on. Again, the winner of this game will go to Chicago and take on DePaul, the number 18 team in the country, who defeated Miami of Ohio last night. Leonard to Washington, corner three, can't get the roll. Rebound by Donovan. Nihil and Leonard trying to trap, but a good job by Donovan to get it to Turner. She goes down the lane, nearly had an and one, and almost took out Mel Greenberg on press row. So a good job by Donovan. She gets the rebound and then the outlet pass, and then Turner tries to take it to the bucket. Foul was on Aubrey Brown. She will exit Hendrickson in. But Katie Turner, 19 points in 29 minutes, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. And Nikki, she's been very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, she's been doing a great job. And see here, she's aggressively going to the basket, knowing that, you know, there's 2 defensive players, and she can only go to the free throw line, and if not, then make her layup.
Turner remains perfect from the line, 4 of 4. She's got 21, and we're back to that magic number of 10. Feels like we've been at that number a whole lot here in this one. Dragons break the press for the moment, but Davidson still trying to trap. Washington around the Leonard screen, 7 to shoot. Nihill, the kick out, and it's knocked away and stolen by Gould. Davidson going the other way. Gould, good look for Welch, who lays it up and in. And that is not what you want to have happen if you are Drexel, because that is Davidson's game at its best.
Yeah, and like I said, Davidson's doing a great job of slowing Drexel down and giving them not a lot of time to work with on the offensive end in the half-court set.
Foul on Cassidy Gould. And a timeout called by Denise Dillon and Drexel. And that will take us to a full media timeout. Dragons still in front, but Davidson still fighting thanks to the great defense right here. And then the outlet pass, Gould to Welch in the fast break. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College here on Flow Hoops.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
What's the benefit of blue when it comes to your Medicare coverage? With Independence Blue Cross, it's choice, value, and care that fits your needs and lifestyle. Ready for coverage that travels with you? Our new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan starts at $0 a month. Call 833-822-6439 to learn more about the new Personal Choice 65 Prime PPO plan from Independence Blue Cross.
Everyone is on their feet.
Sheraton University City is your home away from home while you are in Philadelphia. For the next home game, a special visit for your family, or for your next meeting, think about allowing Sheraton University City to become a part of your community. Visit PhiladelphiaSheraton.com for more information. Alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein, and Nikki, the Dragons have been holding on to a lead really since the end of the first quarter, but what do they need to do to hold off the Davidson Wildcats, who are still charging hard at Drexel?
Yeah, I think Drexel's done a great job offensively, and they need to just keep that up. They need to value the ball and do exactly what Hannah Nihill
How about
did.
that? Hannah Nihill, her second field goal, she's got 4, and that's always a great lift when Hannah can do things offensively. But if you're Aubrey Brown, you can't let Cassidy Gould just go right down Market Street as Nihill takes a spill and Turner called for the foul. So a great drive by Nihill, but that's way too quick of a bucket for the Dragons to give up.
Yeah, and I think Aubrey Brown has done a great job this game so far, but in the past quarter, I think she's done a bad job of missing some of her defensive assignments.
Each team with 2 players in double figures. Greenberg with 27, Washington with 16 for Drexel, Turner with 21, Donovan with 12 for Davidson. Nihill hits Metzel, low block, goes in, goes up, blocked, and she gets the foul call. Fuller didn't like it, looked pretty clean, but she might have gotten her with a little bit of the arm.
I think it depends on which arm were you looking at or which what the coach was looking at.
So here is Metzel. And Metzel was right around 80% from the line last year. And so far today, 3 for 3 from the line. One more could push the Dragons' lead back up to 10, and it doesn't. No good, 1 of 2 for Metzel. 9-point advantage for the Dragons. And the Davidson Wildcats trying to work quickly here, get back into this game. Handoff to Turner, and a hand check foul on Drexel. And that'll be on Hannah Nihill. Second team foul on Drexel. Davidson with 4 team fouls. So if the Dragons can somehow get their way into the paint and get the foul calls, they could be shooting a lot of free throws here in the fourth quarter. Davidson, 20 on the shot clock. Fuller can't get the bounce. Greenberg couldn't handle the rebound. Fresh 20 here for the Wildcats. Gould the drive, the floater, too short. Greenberg grabs the rebound. Only her 3rd board of the day. Nihill, great job by her handling this Davidson press today.
I mean, she does it so easily. She does a great job, and especially she's so small, so I think it's a little bit easier being that size.
Metzel to Nihill. She'll take the jumper and drill it. Hannah Nihill, 2 big buckets here in the 4th, and Dragons up 11.
This is exactly what Drexel needed, is scoring, balanced scoring throughout all of the team versus it just being Bailey by herself.
Davidson around the horn, into the corner, a Welch 3, and she drills it. And Davidson certainly not going away by any means.
And I think the difference this half with Drexel, they're not allowing their defense to dictate their offense anymore.
Brown the kick out. It's a Metzel jumper in rhythm for 2. Certainly good to see her knocking down a jumper. She's got 9 after only putting up 2 points in the opener at Quinnipiac. Dragons up 10. Davidson not going away. Gould a 3, no good. Nihill with the rebound. Nihill, by the way, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, only 3 turnovers.
Yeah, and Hannah Nihill, the leading rebounder right now, the smallest player on the Drexel team right now.
Well, Coach Dillon always wants her guards to crash the glass. Brown to Greenberg in the corner. She'll drive baseline, nearly lost it. Turn around, forces it up, nearly got it to go. Got the deflection back and puts it up and in. Big country Nikki Metzel pried it free, and Greenberg finished it off.
Would that count for a rebound and an assist for Nikki Metzel?
We'll count it. Donovan couldn't finish, got her own miss, and she was fouled. And we haven't heard a lot from Donovan here in the second half, but she is still a very capable player that Drexel cannot forget about.
Coming into the game for Davidson, number 0, Susie Rose Deegan.
So Deegan will come back in for Fuller. So Davidson going a little bit smaller here with Donovan moving to the 5. Here is Sarah Donovan. Makes the first. Donovan, the junior from Ontario, Canada. That's a great slip by Donovan right there, and a good find from the corner as she makes both.
Yeah, and like I said, these teams are very similar. That's exactly what Bailey did a couple possessions ago on offense.
They are very similar. They move fast. I think the difference is Drexel likes to play at a slower pace. Davidson likes to pick it up. Washington, and a good job by her. Eat the clock a little bit. You're up 10 on your home floor. No reason to rush it.
Let's take this time to run some sets and see what options they get out of it.
Washington will take it herself, and she draws the foul. Good, strong take from Keshana Washington, who is really having a nice game here today.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness that I'm seeing on offense from Keshana Washington. She's going up fearlessly. You know, I think as her freshman year, she had a little bit of a slow start in the beginning, but so far so good this season.
First time we're seeing Kayla Bacon 5'8" junior from Owings Mills, Maryland for the Dragons. And I think that's a good move by Denise Dillon because Kayla's strength is really on-ball defense, perimeter defense, and that's what the Dragons need here to hold off Davidson in the final 3:25.
Yeah, and it's late for Kayla to come in, so it's important for her to know the game situation and the assignments for defense.
2 of 2 for Washington. She's got 18. Dragons up 12, trying to hold off the Davidson Wildcats of the Atlantic 10 Conference. Turner, a strong drive, and she draws the foul. Kayla Bacon called for the personal, coming in to try and defend that drive.
Teams 4. At the line for Davidson, number 1, Katie Turner.
That's not exactly the reason why Denise wanted to have Kayla in the game, but, you know, as long as she's not giving her an and one, I think it's better than that.
Yeah, one more look here. Turner beats Nihil off the dribble. Yeah, a little reach in by Bacon. So Turner, who has been perfect from the line, remains perfect. And Davidson and head coach Gail Folks will call a timeout. It'll be a 30, so we'll keep it right here. You're watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College, live from Philadelphia, here on Flow Hoops, alongside Nikki Jones, I'm Ari Bluestein, and 3:18 to go. And again, the winner here in this first round matchup will take on DePaul on Monday night in Chicago. And of course, Drexel would love to be in that game, but Davidson not going to go quietly here. Both teams have really shot the ball well today, Nikki.
Yeah, and I think it's been pretty balanced on both sides. They're doing a great job of finding the openings while they're on offense, finding the openings of what the defense is giving them.
By the way, Cassidy Gould, 10 assists today. Davidson 16 assists on 21 field goals. Drexel 19 assists on 27 field goals. So both teams really sharing the basketball nicely. Bailey Greenberg across the timeline, breaking the press, and she'll find her point guard, Keshana Washington. By the way, the 10 assists for Cassidy Gould, a career high. Her previous high was 6. Greenberg, the slip, baby jumper good, and she has tied her career high and season high of 31.
Like I said in the open, if Bailey's going to score 30-plus points a game, then we're going to keep talking about her.
Donovan knocked down Metzel, no call, and then Donovan ended up tripping over Metzel, couldn't make the shot. Dragons across the timeline. Up 12, just about 2.5 remaining. Nihil over to Washington. Greenberg puts it up. Air ball out of bounds off of Drexel. That was not expected, I will say that. Greenberg 12 of 21 from the floor today for 31 points.
I mean, when you're shooting that much, it's almost like no shot looks like a bad shot.
Turner. And a hand check foul on Nihil, and that will put Drexel over the limit. So that will put Turner back to the line where she has not missed yet. In fact, Turner only has 1 miss this entire game. 6 of 7 from the floor, including 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. So that was her 1 miss. 6 of 6 from the line. Now make it 7 of 7. Wow.
And even the one she missed, that was the one that she went in and got her own rebound and then scored the basket after that.
2 of 2 for Turner. Great game for her. 24 points. Actually, make it 25. Dragons have to break this press. Cannot allow Davidson to create turnovers. And that's a kick ball by Davidson right at midcourt. I don't think the Dragons have yet gotten it over to timeline. Oh, no, they do put it across the timeline. So Bacon will inbound. And now the Dragons will eat a little more clock here. Up by double digits. Davidson without a field goal over the last 3 minutes. They have lived at the line to stay in this one here over the last couple. Washington the drive, the pull-up, short. Metzel fighting for it, got it, blocked by Fuller, and a foul called on Davidson. Big country doing some work down low.
I'm liking the aggressiveness by Nikki Metzel. We talked about this in the beginning of the game, and this isn't what I expected, but I like what I see.
Well, considering Nikki Metzel only had 2 points and 1 rebound in the opener, a great line today as she is at the free throw line. She's now in double digits with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers in 25 minutes. That's a good line for Nikki Metzel.
It's a very solid game for her.
Metzel now the third Dragon in double figures, joining Washington with 18 and Greenberg with 31. Turner into the corner. Gould, good hesitation. Ends up kicking it out to Welch. Welch the drive. Washington tries to pick the pocket, and she's called for the foul. At this point, if you're Drexel, as we take a look at this replay one more time, Washington trying to reach around, I think you're better off just playing straight up defense. Don't try and go for anything fancy or tricky like that. Just play the straight up D, and you're up 10 now. No reason to give Davidson, a good shooting team, a lot of shots at the free throw line.
Right, and Drexel has to realize that there's only 1 minute and 23 seconds left in this game. You want to do what you can to not foul, not give up easy shots, and get some more shots on the offensive end.
Welch makes both. She's now the third Wildcat in double figures with 11. 9-point game, and Davidson and head coach Gail Fulks uses their final timeout. The Dragons with 3 timeouts remaining, so that certainly bodes well. I'm sure Denise Dillon will tell her team, look, if you're trapped in the backcourt, we've got 3 timeouts with 1 minute 23 to go. Use the timeout. Don't create the turnover.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that she's saying. But right now I can imagine she's probably drawing up a play that can help her team, try something new or practice something in a live game situation.
There you see some upcoming events for the Dragons. The men's basketball team in action tomorrow here at the DAC at 2 p.m. against Abilene Christian. And the Dragons got off to a win last night against Niagara. Lost their opener to Temple in a tough game, but they are now 1-1. And then wrestling against Oklahoma State on November 15th. And that is going to be a ruckus atmosphere here at the DAC. I know how those wrestling matches get, and you're bringing in a national program in Oklahoma State. Here in Philly, it's going to be nuts.
I've never been to a wrestling match, I don't think, ever in my life, but I feel like that might be the one to go to.
Yes, it's going to be a good one. Go to DrexelTickets.com. Get your tickets now. The Dragons have to avoid a turnover here on this full court press. Greenberg to Nihill, and they're across the timeline. Great job by the Dragons to break the press. Davidson still trying to trap. And now it's a little game of keep away for Drexel. Leonard to Greenberg. She'll take the jumper, no good. Fight for the rebound. Brown trying to deflect it. Leonard comes up with it. Great job by Aubrey Brown and Mariah Leonard to get the offensive rebound. And now the fouls will begin as Welch fouls Nihill with 48 seconds to go. And the Dragons up 9, and now you have to close it out here. Make your free throws. Do not leave Davidson any chance to try and jump back into this one.
Yeah, and Davidson, I can imagine, are going to keep trying to put pressure on them as they have done the whole half.
Nihill makes the first. Great game for Nihill at this point. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and only 3 turnovers. And that's really what we look at from the point guard. She's taking care of the basketball. Makes both. Great job by Nihill. Bacon will come in for Brown. A little offense-defense switch for Denise Dillon. Turner, who has played a phenomenal game across the timeline. Fuller. Turner, a deep 3. Battle for the board, and Washington gets it. Oh, and a jump ball call, but possession arrow in favor of Drexel. So the Dragons catch a break with 32.1 to play. And Denise Dillon will call a timeout, but the Dragons still have 2 remaining. Both Drexel and Davidson have shot the ball extremely well, as here's a great fight for the rebound by Greenberg. Oh, and she stayed on her feet. I don't know how she did that. Although I will say, here's a little fun story for Bailey Greenberg. I know that she is fairly flexible. In fact, She was a cheerleader, a Drexel cheerleader for Halloween, and there was an Instagram video of her doing like a cartwheel or a front flip or something. And I was like, wait, that's Bailey Greenberg who plays forward for the Dragons? So the fact that we've seen her stay on her feet a couple of times when she's been nearly knocked over, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, now it all makes sense.
So Bacon will inbound. The Dragons get to advance the basketball out of the timeout. Washington to Bacon. Good job to avoid falling out of bounds. Greenberg being surrounded. Davidson choosing not to foul here. Just playing straight up D. Yeah, Turner reached in and she even tried to back out, not fouling. And the Dragons are going to win this one, Nikki Jones.
This is a great job by Drexel. I think they stayed focused on what the game plan was to get a win today.
And Greenberg misses it at the buzzer. Leonard gets the offensive rebound, and she'll have 2 free throws. A chance to get in the scoring column for the senior reserve forward, Mariah Leonard. And this is a great win for Drexel. Offense, defense, breaking the press, and this is a really good Davidson team. Again, they were picked to finish 5th in the Atlantic 10 in the preseason poll.
I like that Drexel's making a statement, letting everyone know that they can keep up with conferences that may be bigger than they are.
And these are 2 really good mid-major wins on their resume to start things off. Win at Quinnipiac and then beat Davidson, and they will move on to the quarterfinals of the preseason women's NIT, and they will take on DePaul on Monday night in Chicago. So the Dragons 2-0 on the year. Davidson falls to 1-1, and they will drop to the consolation bracket here in the preseason women's NIT. Recap the final scoring. Bailey Greenberg with 31, tying her season and career high here today. 18 for Washington, 10 for Metzel, 8.6 rebounds, 7 assists for Hannah Nyhill. Aubrey Brown with 5. Katie Turner leads the way for Davidson with 25. Donovan with 14. Chloe Welch with 11. You've been watching Drexel basketball from Learfield IMG College. For my partner Nikki Jones and our producer Eric Weber, I'm Ari Bluestein saying so long from Philadelphia as Drexel wins 74-63. Have a good night.
This has been a presentation of Learfield IMG College.